newstalkzb.co.nz.
It's Mike Hosking.
13 minutes past 8, our favourite band is back. Midnight Youth, who, well, you might have thought have gone a bit quiet, have in fact, if you followed them on Twitter like we do, basically been storming the world with an endless series of live gigs. Now, the new album, World Comes Calling, is out this week. It's already out in the last couple of days, and Jeremy Redmore and Simon Oscroft are back with us. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Lovely to see you. You don't age. You're aging well.
Thank you very much. It's the moisturiser.
Where have you been? What have you been doing?
We've been a lot of places since the last record came out. We lived in Sydney last year for a year, all in a band house together, and pretty much wrote another album in our pyjamas.
And so why do you go to Sydney to do that? Do you need to be in Australia to do that, or...?
Oh, we went there initially to just tour the country and release our first album there, and then we thought, hey, let's stay here where there's no distractions and no girlfriends and nothing like that. We could just concentrate just on writing, so it worked really well.
And so that was the album. Now, how's Australia gone?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a really tough country because it's hard if you're not actually Australian, and you have to try and they just want to convert you, the same as that same old story about.
Yeah, with
so
the poor cousins.
They're racists.
No, they're patriot.
Is that very patriotic sort of
the
people?
US industry is very similar.
So if you called yourself an Australian band today and said Midnight Youth, Australian band Midnight Youth, Midnight Oil, rather. I'm not Jeez, I'm so tired. So if you turned Australian, then.
Yeah. Well, we'd have to spend 4 more years still to prove that we're Australian. It's kind of, it's very rigid. But anyway, I think I'd rather just stick Kiwi, because what we did was we came back here to tour in summer, the start of this year, and we just sort of revitalised ourselves, and we ended up writing 60% more music towards the next record, which was far more joyful, the music itself.
But you've gone hard. It's hard music, isn't it? It's loud. It's
probably a bit more representative of the fact we're a 5-piece rock band with young guys in there live, and I suppose what we've been doing for the last 2 years is touring, playing a lot of gigs, and that's a rock show, and this album kind of reflects that. It's come through.
You get better as the years go on. You get better you become better players. You
See, because I saw you
everything.
last time I saw you guys was at the Music Awards, which was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And you were no, you see, don't shake your head at me. You were a tight band then. You were tight. You were tight. You were the tightest act of the night. And I'm just a casual observer, but you were slick.
When the pyro influencing you.
Yeah.
Right. You're a slick band. So things have changed. You're getting better and better.
You have to. We rehearse really hard. There's all those stories. You do make your own luck. But we rehearse 4 or 5 times a week. But we're lucky enough to be full-time musicians now, which is pretty rare in New Zealand. So
yeah, we'd rather rehearse than sit around and play PlayStation all day.
So how much do you rehearse each day? What do you do?
Well, up to recording the record, we were rehearsing 5 times a day.
5
times.
I was going to say, steady on.
For about 6 or 7 hours a day.
So that's every day. That's like non-stop.
Yeah, we've got a rehearsal space, and we all live in the same house as well, so it's pretty easy just to wake up, knock on everyone's door, and go to bed.
Is that intense? It must be pretty intense living with people.
It's what... we got the opportunity to do it full time, so why not treat it like a full time job, hours wise? People are putting that amount of effort into their working lives and other industries, so why not do it for music?
It's the 10,000 hours thing. It's the it's the success thing. You can only become an expert after 10,000 hours of doing your craft. So
is that what it is?
Yeah, it's what the Beatles did playing in Hamburg. They were playing 6-hour sets, 8 days a week.
As far as the album's concerned, so the music, it's got a little harder. So was that deliberate on your part or not? That evolved, it happened?
Yeah, it was a natural evolution of the band, basically.
It's like we just became more confident in our own musicianship, as you do going from a teenager to an adult. That's what happened. Now we're adults, and when we wrote the first record, we were sort of teenagers. And we've just become more confident and we've got less inhibitions, and we can be more who we are, and playing harder is kind of who we are right now. I don't know.
And what about the expectation, though, out of the first? Because the first album here, anyway, in this country, I mean, you were projected onto the just bam, there you were, and it was brilliant, and everyone loved you, and there were hit songs, and you know what I'm saying? I mean, so there must be some expectation coming on the second album out of the back of that, mustn't there?
There's definitely some expectation, but I suppose for us it's more of excitement of the fact that people are actually waiting to hear the music that we've created, and we're really excited about it, and it might be slightly different to what they expect. In terms of there's a bit more guitar and drums than some of the songs of our first album, but we've written the best songs we think were absolutely possible for us. So we're
Are
really
they
excited about
better
it.
songs? You're getting better with the age and the time and all of that sort
Yeah,
of stuff?
more stories with like the last 3 years. There's been a lot of stuff that's happened. It's kind of rude, but there's been 1,000 more beers and 1,000 more everythings. You know, like we've just become more experienced at life. And Jeremy's lyrics, he's obviously got way more to write about. And we didn't expect that sort of success to happen on the first record. So now there's actually there's even different emotions this time to write about.
Have there been times of darkness and misery?
Yeah, absolutely. I
You
think
try living with 4 dudes who'd
That's what I
never
was trying
left
to
home
say.
before
yeah,
in
so,
a house. Oh, yeah.
yeah, the
Say no
dark
more.
times when Jeremy was annoyed at us not cleaning the kitchen because he's the house dad. So
Are you like a clean freak?
Well, they didn't know how to use a washing machine.
Don't
so
lie.
he is
they
a clean freak. He's got everything in his cupboards perfectly folded out into perfect squares.
I love you.
But see, you're probably
You
the
and I are
same, Mike.
people.
aren't
You and I are the same people. And what's
can
more
tell.
what's more important? It's the way it should be.
it's true.
And why
Absolutely.
people don't understand that, they're mental. And did you genuinely not know
You're
how to
getting
use a
up on me.
washing machine?
No, I knew how to use it. I've used it a couple of times.
Have you?
You're right.
Whatever.
I didn't know how to cook very well, even though.
No one knows how to cook well when they leave home.
But what we did is we cooked for each other five nights a week, so everyone had a turn, and it would cost $20 to go to the supermarket. And
So you take your $20
yeah, you'd buy like
for 5 people.
a
kg of meat.
a kg of meat,
Had to have
vegetables,
fresh vegetables.
rice or noodles, and then we make a stir fry or some sort of dish. Like
That's sensational. So I mean, this is top budgeting tips. Little did I know when I entered a rock and roll interview this morning that we'd end up on with budgeting tips. But for $20, fresh meat, vegetables, and you got yourself a meal for 5 people for $20, $4 a
so
head.
$4
sometimes
a night
dessert as well.
individually.
Sometimes dessert as well.
So basically $20 a week to eat. That's how we live.
That's fantastic. Go. What are you going to play for us?
This is
Yeah, play a brand new song. So this is our brand new single from the album. It's the title track, World Comes Calling.
Fantastic. Jeremy Redmore, Simon Oscroft, Midnight Youth.
What you gonna do?